closer than what we thought. Definitely was a little bit scary there for moments and bits and parts of the game. But as I told you guys earlier today in the preview video, shout out to the Carolina Panthers. Um, Bryce Young and that team has definitely stepped up. Dave Canales, if like I said, Dave Canales and has that team playing a lot better the past 5 weeks. If you're a Panthers fan, you should definitely be happy. They played very valiantly. A ton of injuries today. They lost two running backs. Um, Hell, I mean, let's be honest, y'all. They were Xavier Leggett deep ball away from possibly stealing this game, so or tying it up at least. But I want to give, like I said, the Panthers a lot of credit, but fuck that. Fly Eagles fly, man. Another great victory. Eagles were able to pull it out 22-16. I like when your team gets tested this late in the season because the playoffs are going to be like this. The playoffs are going to have a lot of games like this, So from here on forward, now, and I'll definitely touch on the Eagles securing a playoff berth now, fourth consecutive season under the Nick Sirianni regime. Talk about that as well. But the most important thing I would definitely want to touch on was this game shouldn't have been close as it was. And that was just because of the Eagles' indecisiveness with the play calling. Some of the routes Jalen should have hit, he didn't hit. Didn't really know what was going on today. It just seemed a lot of inconsistency. It seemed like they really were trying to force throwing the ball, even though the run was clearly there. I mean, Saquon was getting whatever he wanted. I mean, even Kenny Gainwell was getting yards. I don't understand sometimes. I think maybe they get bored. I think sometimes they get bored with a lot of the shit that they do. So sometimes they figure, we get tired of running the ball. Let's throw it a little bit. Let's mix it up. But sometimes that mixing it up is not needed or required. Could have cost you on that last drive, that last offensive series, between bad penalties and indecisive playmaking and Jalen Hurts taking that sack at a weird moment when he didn't need to. I don't know. But again, like I said, hard fought victory. This is what good teams do. This Eagles team a year ago wouldn't have won this game. This was the Arizona game from a year ago. Team up with a little lead. Team comes back. Can you hold on? Difference this year is the defense is better. Team is better. Great play by Darius Slay late to break up that ball against Adam Thielen. I think that was definitely clutch. I want to give my props to shout out for that. But most of my key takeaways from the game, Saquon Barkley is amazing. I am so thankful that he is a Philadelphia Eagle. I mean, I cannot even bullshit you in this. I've said that about Terrell Owens. I said that about Donovan McNabb in his prime. I said that about Jalen Hurts, when he became the quarterback and he, started getting it going. Life has changed with Saquon Barkley being there. Breaks the single season rushing record today. Breaks Shady McCoy's single season rushing record. Passed Montgomery and Shady within his game. So amazing game. 20 carries, 124 yards. Ninth 100-yard game, which is the most in team history. So the formula's there. It's like I said in the preview video, guys. They know we're running the ball. You have to be able to stop it. And the fact is, teams can't stop it right now. They cannot stop it. I mean, you're getting away with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 12 to 18 times a game. I mean, that's really what's happening right now. Like I said, Carolina, another key takeaway. Carolina fought hard. They definitely earned my respect. I love their energy and effort. Adam Thielen is a fucking dog. He may not be the Adam Thielen from 4 or 5 years ago, but he's still a beast, still a third down bandit. He was giving Cooper DeJean work today, y'all. It was first time in a while we saw Cooper DeJean really get worked, and it's okay. He's a rookie. This happens. I'm not tripping off that. But he got work today. Adam Thielen was making him run routes and making him adjust to shit that he really hadn't to adjust to yet, and it was good work for him. But definitely want to give them both a shout out. Like I said, but Eagles play call, another key takeaway was just, again, way too inconsistent. I thought Jalen, most importantly, wasn't great with decision making in the pocket today. I think there were a lot of throws. It seemed like Kellen Moore in the middle of the game was trying to get Jalen quick completions and quick passes, just get in the rhythm and get the ball out of his hands. And it seemed like Jalen was too busy trying to go for the deep shot. And I don't know why that happens sometimes, but needless to say, it happened. Thank God it didn't bite him in the ass today. but decision making has to be better. Jalen was 14 to 21, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, one to Smitty, one to Calcaterra, which was Grant Calcaterra's first touchdown of his career. So shout out to him for that. And Jalen also had a rushing touchdown today. So it wasn't all bad. Wasn't all bad. I just felt like some of his decision making at certain points was just dumb, fucking dumb, and just needed to be better in certain spots. So definitely something that they have to work on. Um, Something else I thought was definitely key in this game, the offensive line play. Offensive line gave up 4 sacks. I would argue 2 of them were Jalen Hurts' fault, but Jalen Hurts broke out of 2 or 3 sacks a day and broke off on big runs. Where if he wasn't mobile, that would have destroyed down and distance plays. Where that offensive line has to play better for this team to be really elite and contending and doing what they need to do. Now, I will admit, Kellen Moore didn't really do the offensive line any favors by putting them in some unreasonable and dumbass passing situations. However, you got to block. I mean, that's your job. When the blitz is coming, when guys is coming off the edge, you got to be able to pick up the blitz so the quarterback can make the play. And they just didn't have their best game today, but I definitely think they'll be better going down the stretch. Definitely going to have to be better next week against Pittsburgh. That's definitely going to be a true test. Jake Elliott. I talked about this with Justin Tucker. Jake Elliott has now the yips. I have to look at the stat itself. I believe he's 0 of 5 or 0 of 6 on 50-yard field goals, and this is coming from a guy whose career long is 63 yards. It was real interesting too because you could see it in the fourth quarter where Sirianni kind of didn't trust Elliott. He had missed those 2 kicks earlier, missed that point PAT, and it was just kind of like, ugh. In the 2-point conversion, thank God it helped. That was essentially what gave the Eagles a cushion to win the game. It was a 6-point lead. Saquon was able to convert that 2-point conversion, but it's one of those things where, honest to God, truth, I'm a little nervous. Because Jake Elliott usually hits those field goals, and he's going to have to hit some of these for us to win games in the playoffs. That's just the way it is. He's going to have to hit some of them. Now, maybe the Eagles play so well that offensively they don't need their kicker to make long field goals for him. But if he's missing field goals, that's 3 points at times that you're going to need that's not there. And it just makes your offensive game plan a bit tighter. So that's definitely something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as the rest of the season plays out going into the postseason. Another key point, big game. Like I said, off the Panthers, big game against Pittsburgh coming up next week. I fuck the Keystone State rivalry shit. You got 2 of the better teams in the NFL playing each other. It's another swing game for the Eagles, so yay or nay, win or lose, it could go either way. However, the D line for Philadelphia will definitely be tested because we're going to have to. And granted, I don't know if George Pickens is necessarily going to play. I'm assuming he's going to play next week. You're going to have to make sure that you're respecting those rushing lanes a little bit more because this was the first game I saw without Brandon Graham where the rush defense looked a little off, not too much. But again, you got Jalen Hunt, young guy, hasn't really played like that, finally getting burned because Brandon Graham's out. He's learning things. So I'm keeping in mind that a lot of these young guys are still going through the ropes, still figuring some shit out too. But they're going to have to be way more disciplined against Pittsburgh next week because that shit, you do that against Pittsburgh, you're going to get your ass kicked. So definitely going to have to see their D-line step up and play better next week. And the last time the Eagles had a winning streak this long in the season, late in the season, both times they went to the Super Bowl, 2022 and 2017. So, and this even goes back to their championship years when it was back to the NFL championship. So there's a theme right now with this team. 9 straight victories, riding high. And again, you're riding high on 9 straight victories in a game where you really didn't play that well. I mean, it's like I said in the preview video, the Panthers knew what they were going to try to do. They literally, time possession, 33 minutes to 33 seconds to Philadelphia's 26 minutes and 27 seconds. The key difference in this game was penalties, the bad interception early on by Bryce Young, and they couldn't stop the run. They could not stop the run. Ballsy as hell for all the 4th down calls. Again, they're a 3-win team. What the fuck did they have to lose? But ballsy, they were 4 or 5 on 4th downs. But that 4th down where Bryce Young missed that slant to Leggett, to me, I felt like watching it, that was the game. Because if they could have sustained momentum there, who knows where things could have went. But ultimately, good win, much needed win. Eagles are now in the playoffs too, which I definitely. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Fucked my head up watching this when I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, Eagles got 10 different scenarios they're going to need to make the playoffs. So it's probably likely, even if they win today, they're probably not going to make the playoffs because they need all these other things to happen. Did not expect Seattle to beat the dog shit out of Arizona like they did today. I believe that score was 30-18. Did not expect that at all. I was expecting a way tighter game, if anything. And because of that, the Eagles are now secured and clinched the playoff berth. Which to me speaks volumes to this team, speaks volumes to Nick Sirianni. Sirianni was under a lot of pressure, guys. Make no mistake about it. A lot of y'all, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all that watch the show are just people that are just casual Eagles fans. A lot of people wanted his head. A lot of people put the blame on him for last season and felt like, he was the reason the team collapsed. I tend to contest that it's the fact that it was better coaching. You have Saquon Barkley there, so, team's better. But nonetheless, Nick Sirianni earns respect and deserves respect for this because he has this team firing on all cylinders. Today wasn't great, but past few weeks, this team has been rushing the ball at an all-time rate. Defense has been playing great. And I mean, again, it wasn't even like the defense gave up 21 points. They held Carolina to 16 points. So essentially they did their job. They did exactly what they were supposed to because, as I said in the preview video earlier, if they fuck around and let Carolina get the 21 points, this gets dangerous and it turns into an even tighter dogfight. So credit to the Philadelphia Eagles for doing what they were supposed to do and getting the job done. And now back in the playoffs, pretty much these games down the stretch are going to be for seeding. So we're going to definitely need the Lions to lose at some point down the stretch. Don't know if that happens. So pretty much just got to keep winning and doing what we do. And again, I've said this on previous lives and previous videos. If you're an Eagles fan, don't expect the first round bye. The Eagles aren't getting it. The Lions are not going to – they're not losing another game. They've had multiple opportunities to lose. It hasn't happened yet. I don't foresee it happening. It'd be a blessing to get the number one seed. It'd be a blessing to get that first round bye. But I'll be honest with you. I think with the way this team is playing, you don't really need the first round bye. I feel like a first round bye could possibly hinder this team. Having a little too much rest, especially in the playoffs, and you have a rusty first half, and you're down by 14 or 17. It could change the complexion of how you look at your postseason, or if you even last in the postseason. So I just feel like this team needs to just keep firing. They're going to get Dallas Goedert back by the playoffs. Hopefully, Reed Blankenship can definitely play because even though McCollum wasn't horrible today, I definitely felt like Reed Blankenship was missed on the back end. I liked how C.J. Gardner-Johnson stepped up, made some key hits, some key tackles, and some key plays, especially the clutch interception early in the game that kind of changed momentum for Philadelphia, Carolina at that point. So ultimately, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I thank you guys for always watching. And before I go, I have to let you guys know, I didn't reveal it yet, but you're going to start seeing it in some of the videos. One of the sponsors now of the show, products that I'm sponsoring now on the show, will be StubHub. I'll have in the college video the college football video that I'm actually going to be posting tomorrow. You'll be seeing the promotion. So there will be tickets and ID links if you guys are looking at some of the championship games, that you want to get to, some of the playoff games, that you want to get to. If you want to basically, try to secure some tickets for that national championship, StubHub is the way to go. Biggest and best ticket provider out there in the world right now. And if you're looking for, best tickets and concerts and shows and events to get to, StubHub would be the place. So definitely check that out. And also check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Substack, Shrivo, and now on Podbean. We're spreading, guys. The show is expanding. I thank you guys as always. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Enjoy your night. And I'll see you guys later.